You look extra hot today.
Do I?
You look delicious.
Thank you. You know what? I'm having a really good hair day today.
Well, you're gonna get it
and
tonight.
I feel it. I'm having a good hair day.
You're for sure gonna get it. You're gonna get it. And if you don't get it, I'm gonna be very sad. Very sad. We'll report next week if I got it, if she got it or not.
We won't.
We'll report. We'll let you know if Renae was willing. Precipitant. I don't know what I'm saying. Precipitant. I don't think is that the word.
Precipitation.
I think you just called me impotent. Impotent. Steve is impotent.
Yeah, participant and impotent.
Participant.
Together.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, welcome to the show. I am very unprepared today.
Oh, well, I was going to say, I feel like I got to be honest. Usually I'm like excited for us to sit down. And not that I'm not excited for us to sit down today, but I just feel like I've had a lot of you lately. We've had a lot of each other lately. So what are we going to talk about?
I never say that. I want more of Renae. And Renae's like, when are you leaving? Ugh. I want my life back. Get back on the road. No, we actually went to, we have a little home, a humble abode, if you will, in Rockport, Texas. And I don't even know if I want to talk about it.
It's a little beach cottage.
Because Rockport is such a little secret right now.
Yeah.
And everybody's trying to get into Port Aransas, and we're just going to shut up. Rockport sucks. It's terrible because it's still very sleepy. They have amazing market days. It's like a little fishing village.
Yeah.
You know, and what I really like about Rockport, if I'm speaking frankly and gonna let all these people know, and they're gonna ruin our lives because they're all coming. I used to talk about how at the Comedy Store how great Texas, and I'm a Texan and Texas is the best, and I used to run my mouth, and all these fucking comedians came over here and followed me. And I'm like, shit, I should have shut up. I should have told them how shitty it was. You know, I was the only Texan out there preaching, you know. But no, Rockport, what I really like about Rockport is it's very quaint still.
Yes. It's not overcrowded.
And it's not overcrowded. And when you fish out there or when you get in the bay, you don't see any of the industry. Port Aransas and Aransas Pass and the island, there's a lot of industry out there. So
what do you mean? You mean like oil
the
rig
refineries
stuff?
And the smoke and the exhaust flames, and you know when you go out of Rockport and fish like St. Joe's Island, it feels very secluded. It feels very peaceful, serene, very beachy.
Nature. You
know, when you fish in and around Aransas Pass and Aransas Bay, where most people fish, you know, there's literally cranes and freaking old pipes in the water. And I mean, it's just, you know, it's not the same, right? So we did go to Rockport. We actually bought that house right after Harvey.
We actually started the podcast in that house. We started.
Yes, because we spent COVID there.
Yes.
And it's oh, by the way, because it's on my mind. A lot of people agreed with me last episode.
I don't know. I had a lot of people on my page who commented Team Captain Evil. They said cue the violins.
No, you know what they said was I will always back you up, Renae. Basically, ride or die. Even if you're a dick, we're backing you up. We will not vary from that. But a lot of people were like, hey, you know, Steve's right. And even some women were like, hey, I like to let my husband rest. And I like to be aware. But I just want to say, for the first time, or second, maybe third time, I actually won an argument with the family.
You think so? You think that was a win? I don't know. I think we need to do like an Instagram
I think people, I honestly think people are starting to sympathize with me. I think people are starting to watch the podcast and they're going, oh, I'm figuring this out. I get it. One comment was brutal, and I'm not going to read it.
Oh, I guess I have to go read the comments.
One comment was basically like, hey, Renae is
sign the divorce papers.
Yeah, Renae's abusive. Basically, one guy was like, hey, he had the courage, or she had the courage to go, Renae's abusive.
To speak up on your behalf.
Yes, I'm not going to read the comment, but I'm just telling you.
Now, Rick, now you got to pull up the comment. I want to know.
Do you really want to know?
I do. Now I really want to know.
I'll pull it up right now. Do you really want to know? Do you really want to know?
Yeah, I really want to know.
Okay. It's going to, all right.
It's going to make me cry?
You're going to have to call him Mr. Freud. You're not gonna like it, but here we go.
It's okay. I go to my therapist tomorrow.
Oh, thank God.
I'll work it out.
Let's see here. So, was it on here? It might have been on. Was it on?
All I know is my sister said she's on my team.
Okay, here we go. I love it because it's also Latino. Renae is chiflada, manipulator. She's complained about taking care of the kids for less before. Steve had to force himself after 3 days of work. If it was the other way around, Renae would have changed the schedule so she can rest, and we would have heard, I had to take care of the kids, and I was up and down so many days. I care and hope the best for you, Steve. You have a happy family, Steve. Great job. So, yes.
It was not 3 days of work.
Look, I did a joke in Relatable where I said Renae makes the rules, but does not have to follow them. And that is so true. You are right. When it's on the other side, then things are different. But when it's on my side, things are different. So you wanted me to read it.
Listen, the comments that were on my page were like, Renae gave you an out. Renae said she's got the kids covered.
That's cold-blooded,
Did I not travel home for 2 days with the kids by myself?
Oh my God.
Did I not handle it? Was
my bad.
Did I tell you while you were gone, while I was doing it by myself, it's okay. The kids are good.
Were your tickets first class? Were you in first class?
No, because our flights got changed.
But were they in first class?
They were booked that way.
Chiflada. For those people that don't know what chiflada means, it means she is spoiled.
Yes, I am.
She is spoiled. She is a spoiled brat.
Yes, I am.
So don't get it. Why are you getting it? I didn't even want to read you the comment. Yeah, let me hear it. Let me see it.
I'm not that bothered by that comment.
I know you're not. You don't give a fuck, dude. I get bothered. Like, things bother me. I have a heart and a soul. Renee's like, yeah. Well, dude, when we first got together, Renee goes, just so you know what you know who you're with. I am who I am, and deal with it.
No.
Dude, I would have been like, bitch, you know who I am. You know who you married.
You were. I did know who I married.
And you changed all of it.
No.
And you were like, that's not okay. That's not okay. You can't do that. I'm like, what about you? You're doing this, this, and that. I am who I am. Fucking deal with it. Have you seen my ass? It's nice. Tatiana's laughing over there.
I'm laughing too.
You see my hair? Beautiful hair. But I'll be honest, like, going to Rockport for me, I did it for my family. You guys love it. And for me, it was like, oh gosh, pack another bag. I just wanted to be home. I'm like, pack another bag, go down to Rockport. And then, dude, getting out of there is misery for me. Misery. But we had a good time. I was able to take Garrett fishing, and it was hot as hell. But we fished. Yeah. And we caught some good fish.
He caught a big old fish. He had fun. He had a good time.
Oh, he loves it, man. And I just love that he loves it. And for an 8-year-old, it was hot. I mean, it was 96, 97, 98
and
degrees.
And it rained, so it was like steamy.
Oh, it was steamy. Hot. And the whole time I'm thinking, okay, at some point he's going to be like, it's hot. And we weren't catching a lot of fish.
Yeah.
We really had to work to catch our fish. And most times when you go out with a guide, they know where the fish are, but none of the guides were catching. It was just one of those days.
Yeah.
And we were hustling for them. And Garrett never once was like, hey, I want to go home. Hey, it's too hot. I'm hungry. I'm miserable.
Yeah.
None of that. I mean, he was, every time we'd catch one, okay, let's stay. We're going to catch more. And I just loved it. And I think, I really do think I have an exceptional young man for a son.
Yeah.
And I'm also taking the same page out of my dad's book where my dad was like, you're always going to be with me. You're going to be with me. And even if it's just you and men, you're going to be with me.
Yeah. And
I take that philosophy with Garrett where I'm like, dude, you're with me, right? You're going to be with me. We're going to do things. Even when I have to run errands with my dad, I'm like, you're coming with me. Yeah. You're going to be with the men. And I think that has been a real, success in my life with my dad, knowing how to be around your dad, knowing how to be around other men, learning those skills. I think it helped me out in life tremendously. However, it also made me way more mature and way older because of it.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find that balance for Garrett of
letting him be a kid.
Yeah, you get to be a kid and hang out with your friends, but I also want you with me.
Yeah.
Eric and Mason were I don't know, your dad in your life, Mason, was that kind of the case for you or
what involved?
Yeah, just with him all the time.
Yeah, a lot. I didn't spend time with my dad a lot unless I was working with him, landscaping.
Yeah.
So that was a lot. But then like every now and then we go ride bikes, like BMX and stuff like that.
Cool, do some cool stuff. How about you? I know your dad.
We did everything: plumbing, fishing, horses, baseball.
Oh my God.
Everything together. Yeah, and it helps. I mean, because you have this relationship with your father, and it takes a man to lead by example, not just to tell you
Right.
what it is.
Well,
to be a
and then
man.
it just becomes it's not about we're learning this today. It is just a way of life, right? They're learning things constantly. And you're teaching them things constantly without them feeling like, oh, I'm getting a lesson or oh, I'm being schooled,
How about you, Rick? Were you and your dad together all the time?
Well, my parents were divorced at such a young age, so I only saw him every other weekend, and he lived on a farm. And who wants to live on a farm other than you?
Yeah, just me. But it is for me at least, I learned so much just being with my dad.
Yeah.
I learned so much from how to do things, how to communicate with other men, how to be respectful, how to shake hands, all those
just
things.
by watching him.
Just by watching,
Yeah.
and men, there's an art to shit talking. There's an art to when men are together giving each other a hard time.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because Garrett at 8 will swing one out there and you're like, whoa, that was really good, but a little disrespectful. You're 8. But that was really good.
That's what's hard is I see him. He'll have moments where he slips and he's like, oh, wait, I'm not with the guys.
Oh, right.
And he'll like catch himself saying
But
something.
teaching him that too.
Or he'll make a joke with me that I'm like, like that might fly over there, but that does not fly over here.
Which is something that is also something that is learned.
Yeah.
Right? That you have to teach to go, hey, when you're with the guys, this level of tomfoolery and
That's a great word.
And bullshit is allowed.
Yes.
But when we're with the ladies, and it's hard because I'm his dad and I'm a comedian. I'm a well-known comedian. And when people are around me, females included, I'm able to joke harder than most men.
You get a pass. You're
I get a
able
pass.
to get away with
Right.
saying shit that the average male does not.
Right.
And,
Yeah. If
Yes.
you said it, they'd be like, dude, that Mason guy's a fucking
and that's
dick.
what makes but that's what makes it tricky and complicated for Garrett too,
Well, that's what I mean, because he sees his dad get away with things that normally, like, hey, dude, if I was a regular dad, I would not have said that in front of these women.
And the other thing that makes me nervous is that Garrett will be like, that he'll go and do that with his friends. And he's like, oh, it's okay. I'm with the guys, right? When he's with his little friends. But then his little friends go back and tell their parents what Garrett Trevino said. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if you guys are going to be allowed to hang out anymore.
But I also tell people you have to mentally prepare your children as well. You have to teach them to be able to take it and give it.
Yeah.
And that lesson these days is not being taught, right? They're not teaching their kids like, hey, dude, you got to talk shit too, bro. And they're going to talk shit to you. And you better be able to verbally destroy them and pop back.
Yeah, I don't think that's a lesson that's being taught in most families. I know,
Garrett,
I know you're
dude,
teaching
you
it
want
in
to talk
ours.
about Garrett's defense? He's quick. Dude. He'll fuck you up, dude. And then I love when I have Garrett and his little buddies in the back of my SUV. And they're back there like just talking little kid shit. And they also do like yo mama jokes. And it's so funny, dude. You're a mom. So I'm like, dude, I got some for you, right? I'm like, your mom's so fat she played pool with the planets. And dude, you see all the kids are like, oh yeah. Oh, I put that one in the memory bank for school. Because we did that too. And did y'all do your mama jokes like when y'all were coming up?
It got mean.
Oh, it gets mean. Yeah, it would. Your mom's so nasty that we had to cut the tampon string because the crabs were bungee jumping. Dude, we were ruthless, bro. You say some shit, and then the best part is Garrett's like your mom, Dad. And I'm like, that's your grandma. You're talking about your grandma, dude. Like, I'm going to tell grandma you said that. He's like, don't tell grandma I said that. Like, well, that's my mom. So you're talking shit, right? But I also want Garrett to stay as sweet and as innocent as possible. And I am starting to notice at this age that there's a difference in his friend group. There's some of the friends that are 8 like him that are rougher verbally, and they're talking about more mature things.
They're a little more advanced. Yeah.
More advanced.
Yeah.
And I don't want Garrett to not be friends with those kids, but I'm also trying to encourage the other kids that I can tell are not quite there.
Yeah.
They're not quite as advanced as some of his friends.
I feel like,
and that could be older brothers,
yes, older siblings for sure.
We were laughing because he was at golf camp, and he goes, Dad, one of the kids grabbed his Coke, he popped a hole in the side, and then opened it up and chugged it, Dad.
With a tea.
I'm like, all right, a golf tee. And I'm like, okay, he either has an older brother or his dad's still a maniac doing shotgun and beers. And I'm like, you're supposed to learn that in high school. At least that's when I learned it. But it was funny because you see these kids that have older siblings, or their parents, or something.
Yeah.
That they're a little more, or they get to see different movies or TV shows that we don't allow Garrett to see, different music that we don't allow Garrett to listen to. So there is a little, at this age, because he's almost 9, there's that change in the friend groups.
Yeah.
But I will say, and I don't mean to disrespect any of our friends, but a lot of the kids Garrett hangs out with are GT kids, and those tend to be the sweeter ones, and the ones that are still not quite in that little rougher space.
Yeah.
And they just tend to be, they're very similar kids.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I see it with like the girls. Like, it's such a difference when a girl is sweet and naive and sort of unaware of her body, and then you see the girls who are like so aware of their appearance, and I just like, for a girl even especially, I feel like if you could
scarier, the sexuality.
Yeah.
Right? A girl that doesn't know how to be sexy versus the girl that goes, oh, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Like, I bent over like this on purpose. Right? Renae would bend over and I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, oh yeah, I probably shouldn't have done that. And I'm like, Jesus, Renae, just give everybody a show, But what hurts me when it comes to, I have now had the opportunity to watch several young girls in my life, from my nieces to people that I love, make that transition from little girl to teenager.
Yeah.
And that's rough, dude. And our neighbor, who we absolutely adore, you want to talk about a look at these bastards. How many are in my yard right now? Jeez Louise.
Yeah, nice little buck in there.
Look, there's 5 deer.
They left the gate open.
The gate's open over
They're
there.
They're going to eat
God
the
dang it.
plants.
Mason, will you go run them off, please, sir? These damn deer in my backyard. God, that's a big one, too. I'm going to kill him.
I don't want him to eat my plants.
But we have a neighbor who we absolutely adore, and she's the sweetest little thing, and she has become like family.
Yeah.
She is that kid that walks in our door, and she's comfortable here. She'll walk into the pantry and grab snacks. I mean, she's like family.
Yeah.
And like, I'm already seeing that change in her from little goofy girl to tweenie.
Uh-huh.
And then when these girls get into high school, you're like, oh my God, like, I used to love all of you.
Yeah.
And now you don't even talk to me. You sleep till noon. the amount of eye rolling coming from you kids.
Yeah.
So that's scary too.
Oh, I don't know. People see me with Delilah, and they're like, multiple people, multiple times have told me, oh, just wait till she's a teenager. Like, oh, Renae, you're in for it when Delilah's a teenager.
Our friends that joined us in Rockport, they're very, very dear friends, and they're probably some of the sweetest people that we know. I admire both of them, and their kids are wonderful kids, but they're going through that with their daughter, where she's making that change from little kid to teenager. you know, and they're like,
I'm so nervous about navigating it with Delilah,
dude,
and I'm
Delilah's
a ways off.
gonna wreck your life. That little girl already, dude. Last night she's sitting there, and we got in late because we were in Rockport, and then we met some friends in our backyard and kind of had an evening together, and so it's already kind of late. And Delilah's sitting there, and she's like, "Dad, can I have one of those cupcakes?" And I said, "Baby, it's already 9:00. I go, you can't have a cupcake." "Pretty please." And I'm like, this little shit. "Daddy, please, Daddy." So then I go, "Stop doing that." And she started cracking up because she knew that she was freaking playing it, dude. She knew what the fuck she was doing, right? But we had a great time in Rockport. We fished and had some family time. We do Airbnb it.
Yeah.
So we definitely had to do some clean out and some kind of little upgrades and little ins and outs that we needed to do for because it does get a little cluttered over time. And that was, geez, Louis. Renae changes out furniture, and I go, "Renae, let's give it to Goodwill. Let's give it away, or let's sell it." "No, put it in the garage. I might use it." Boom. 6 months goes by. We go back to Rockport.
We don't go that much.
This was
the first time we'd been
Renae,
all summer.
that furniture had been in the garage for 2 years.
Oh, goodness. I don't know.
2 years. Eric's laughing. So I'm afraid of Renae. I'm afraid of Renae, so I won't tell her. I'll go, "Hey, what do you want to do with this furniture?" "Leave it. I want it. I'm going to do something with it." I'm like, "Okay." And she'll fucking yell at me. So then yesterday she's like, I'm like, "Look," I go, "This has all been here. It had spider webs on it. That's how long it's been there. Had spider webs on it." I go, "What are we doing with this stuff?" "Oh, you can throw it away." And I'm like, why do we have to get to here to throw it away? It's painful.
Well, no, because I was holding it in case we got another Airbnb. It was still good and usable, but I don't think that's going to happen. So time to go.
Even if we get another Airbnb, you're going to want to do something different anyway.
Probably. You're right.
Exactly. So I'm sitting there. 2 years ago, I said, "Let's just get rid of it. Let's give it away. Let's sell it. Whatever. Facebook Marketplace." No. 2 years later, "Get rid of it. Can you just put it by the dumpster?" I'm like, "Okay." I did put it by the dumpster, and literally within minutes.
I was going to say, I know someone will come get it, a neighbor or someone.
Oh, within minutes,
Yeah.
somebody rolled, because it was good furniture. I mean,
Yeah.
within minutes, somebody rolled up, and that made me happy because I didn't want to throw it away.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't want it to go
Into a landfill.
Yeah, I mean, it was
Yeah.
good furniture, and it was, one of the pieces was really good, the other piece was nice, 2 of the stools were really good, and then one of them was one of those little double end tables with 2 drawers that you had painted real nice.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like an awesome piece of furniture, but it was nice.
Right. It was
You know.
it was refurbished.
Is Mason? You can come back in. You don't have to. You don't have to stay out there. I knew I just standing out there.
Oh, okay.
Hey, then, dude, we are the most unformal freaking podcast out there.
Thank you for making sure the deer didn't eat my plants.
Sorry, Rick.
But I love Rockport for several reasons.
Yeah.
I love to fish. Mm-hmm. And we did fish off the pier, and we caught a really nice trout.
Yeah.
Which as a dad, I remember going fishing with my dad,
Yeah.
and we would catch one, and my dad would be like, "Look, we catch one, we're letting it go. You catch another one, we can keep it because it'll feed the whole family. But one, I ain't dealing with one fucking fish."
Yeah.
And I'd be like so bummed out because I had caught that fish. And then my dad's like, "I ain't dealing with this fish. I don't fucking care." You know, and I'm like, "But I want to eat the fish I caught." And my dad would be like, "Yeah, well, get over it." You know, and he'd fucking throw in the water.
Yeah.
So when he caught that, I really sympathized with my dad.
Because it's a lot of work to fillet a fish.
It's a pain in the ass, right? And I'm like, "Oh,
All the little bones.
I gotta freaking fillet this fish." But Garrett wanted to eat it so bad. So I will share my fish secret with the world. When I was single, very poor, living in Corpus Christi, me and my roommate would go fishing all the time. And whatever fish we got, we kept it because it was good food for us to eat. And if you wanted to eat it fast, he showed me a trick that is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So what you do is you take your fish fillet, you put it on a plate, you put salt and pepper on it, and then you take lemon juice and you squeeze the lemon juice on top of it. 2 minutes in the microwave. Delicious, healthy, flaky fish.
But like lots of lemon juice.
Well, because I think that what the lemon juice does, kind of like ceviche, it helps cook it, right?
The acid.
But it is beautiful, white, flaky, healthy fish. And I learned to do that. I did it for Garrett because I was like, all right, I ain't gonna go get cornmeal. We're not doing the whole frying the thing. I'm not gonna grill the whole thing together. I don't have butter, garlic, the whole. I go, I'm gonna show you guys, and they loved it. They absolutely loved it. Trey freaked out. He was like, holy shit, you made this in 2 minutes in the microwave? I'm like, that's my trick.
Yeah.
But it works, man. I mean, it is. So that
oh my
was,
gosh. Speaking of, didn't we come back with frozen fish? Did it get left in the car?
Sarah stole it. Stepmom Sarah.
Oh, thank goodness. We came home last night. We were so tired. We didn't come back.
So I screwed up because I told Sarah, my stepmom, I said, because they came to visit us before we left, I go, all this food you're taking home. Well, when she opened the freezer, she grabbed the fish and put it in the bag with all the other food.
She also took 2 bottles of champagne.
And I didn't have the heart to be like, the fish is actually ours.
She went home that evening, had fresh fish and a glass of champagne.
Avocados, all kinds of shit. She had all kinds of stuff ready to go. But I didn't want to then go, ooh, well, that's
not that.
Because my dad, he loves fresh, out of the bay, cooked fish.
Well, especially when someone already did the work and filleted it for you.
He loves that shit, right? But yeah, so she ended up stealing it.
Yeah.
And I know Garrett's going to ask, so I might have to go to H-E-B and buy 10 fillets and be like, hey, there's a fish you caught. Yeah. Let's eat that, right? But I love Rockport, and I love being there with the family. And I will say that it definitely slows us down as a family.
That's what I was going to say. I just love...
We have our Captain Evil golf cart.
It's a slower pace. Yes, I have a Captain Evil golf cart in Rockport that I love. We take the golf cart to go get coffee or snow cones, and that's like a big activity.
So you and Garrett yesterday went to Walmart.
Yeah.
Or like we like to call it, Wally Martinez.
To get some supplies that we needed for the
house. To get some supplies. And I asked Delilah, I said, do you want to go with Mom? You want to stay with me? She said, I want to stay with you, Daddy.
Well, this was after you and Garrett had spent the whole day fishing.
I was so emotional. She sat right next to me on the golf cart. And I had my arm around her. And she would just look up at me like...
Oh.
And I couldn't take it, dude. I'd look down at her and she'd be like... And I'm just like, you're going to fucking make me cry.
Yeah.
I'm like, I wish your mom looked at me like that.
It's a different relationship.
I mean, she was just like, my daddy.
Oh.
You know, and my song to her is Cross My Heart by George Strait.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people think that that's a husband-wife song. It's not.
It's a daddy-daughter song.
It's 1,000% a daddy-daughter.
Once
Trey showed me that.
When someone tells you it's a daddy-daughter song, you're like, oh my God, it's obviously a daddy-daughter song.
It's a daddy-daughter song.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, so we're cruising down. I got the radio on the Captain Evil golf cart, and we're going down the road, and she goes, Daddy, can you play Cross My Heart? And she grabbed her chest, and I was like, yeah.
Oh, no, what's so funny is when she'll ask you to play songs about her.
Oh,
because Delilah, she
wants a whole set.
The song.
She wants a whole set about her.
Play a song about me.
Yeah, she's like, Dad, can we play songs about me? And Garrett's like, ugh, in the back. He's like, are you serious right now? And I'm like, dude, shut up. We're playing songs about Delilah. We're doing it. But I really got very emotional. And again, gave me the opportunity to do that with her.
Yeah.
Slowed things down, took the golf cart, sat with my daughter. We went to, I go, you want? Yeah, I go, you want? Because the duck blind down there has snow cones. I said, you want a snow cone or you want ice cream? She said, Daddy, I want ice cream. I go, okay. So we go to the convenience store, the Valero right there. And then she was like, I want Dippin' Dots. I go, okay. So they had the Dippin' Dots freezer. I go, which one do you want? Rainbow. Okay, I got her the rainbow. And then I go, Daddy's going to get his ice cream, right? I like those, the strawberry shortcakes. You know what I'm talking about? I go, oh, I'm going to get that. So she's on my shoulder and she goes, push-ups. There's a push-up. And I go, okay, well, let's put the Dippin' Dots back. She goes, no, both. I go, okay, fuck it, both. So, dude, we had both. She was double-fisted ice creams, dude.
And she hadn't even had lunch yet. You gave her 2 ice creams before lunch.
Crushing ice cream. Then we went to the little park there, and I, you know, would swing her or whatever,
Yeah.
and we played, and she wanted to do the seesaw, which is very unbalanced for her. You know?
Good thing you have those calf muscles, baby.
Yeah, but it was just it does it does definitely slow family time
Yeah.
down.
And I think we need that, especially because you're such a busybody.
And
Like, I think that's part of why you don't like it is you get anxious. Like, you want more to do or you want to go out. You don't just want to, like, chill. And for someone who doesn't like the beach, it's a perfect scenario for you because we have a small little sliver of sand in our community, and that's enough beach for
I can
our
fish.
children. And the pier's right there.
I'm fishing off the pier, and they're on the beach. I'm like, perfect. We're still
Yes.
together. And then Delilah comes over. And by the way, fucking Garrett. So when Garrett was her age, I would throw the cast net, and I bring up all these mullet and shrimp and perch. And,
And
you know.
he loves that. They
Well,
love
he
the
loved
cast
it,
net.
but when he was her age, he would not touch a fish, and he was scared to death.
Yeah.
And I don't want to. And I'd be like, put it in your hand. No, Dad. You know.
Yeah.
Freaking out. And Delilah. So then Garrett's now Garrett grabs the fish, no problem, right? So then he's grabbing all the fish, and Delilah's like, I want to help. And Delilah's like touching it and poking it and putting her hand on it, but she's not picking it up. And then Garrett's like, oh, Delilah, you're being ridiculous. I'm like, listen, bitch. I knew you when you were 3, and you were way worse than Delilah is right now. So you need to chill out with your oh, Delilah, pick it up, pussy. You know, I'm like, dude, you were crying like a little bitch during COVID. You wouldn't even touch anything. But it definitely helps with that. I will also say that we have a very big home here, and over there you don't. And and it goes back to when I say that we're together in a hotel room. It starts to confine your space so that you're forced to be together.
Yeah.
Right? We're here at
To
the house.
interact with one another.
We're here at the house. We literally don't have to see each other.
Yeah.
Garrett can be in the playroom or his room. We can be in the living room or in our bedroom or over here. We don't see each other,
Yeah.
right? Delilah's over there in her little art studio. We don't see each other. But there, you're also forced to, there's one TV. There's not a game room TV. So we're all in the living room.
Yeah.
The kitchen table's right there.
Yeah.
And it's not a tiny home, but it's much smaller. So
Yeah.
you spend more time together as a family.
Yeah.
And I think that's why hotels work for us, because we're all together, relaxing,
Yeah.
watching TV together, cuddling, hanging out. So it definitely is huge for
Good family time.
our family time.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it, and I love the Captain Evil golf cart, even though it says Captain Evil on it. I still rock it. I don't care. I cruise down the road, for crew, and they go, oh, there's Steve Trevino and his freaking Captain Evil. I think it's like a Tiffany.
There she is, forcing him to go to the beach again.
Yeah, it's a Tiffany Aqua.
Yeah, it's like a light blue. Yeah.
Yeah, it has like decals, Captain Evil decals. I mean, it's pretty awesome. But we enjoy that little house, and we love going there. I didn't get in the swim pool. Did you guys?
No, we didn't get in the swimming pool. The kids wanted to do the beach and the pier when they
Yeah,
were
they
there.
love going to the pier.
Yeah.
And it's cool because, and Eric understands that he's a fisherman. You have a lagoon and a pier that goes over the lagoon, and then you have the beach, and then you have a pier that goes into the bay. So it's such a perfect scenario because I can get all my bait right there in the little lagoon, and by the way, we caught a 19-inch trout in that lagoon. And there's no current, there's no waves, and we just fish right there, and the beach is right there, and we just hang. So it's a really great scenario.
Yes.
But I will tell people, like, if you want that beach house, go buy it, because we have been very successful with Airbnb in it, and somebody else paying our mortgage. Not only that, at the end of the year, we end up with some profit. So we're actually making money as it grows in value.
Yeah.
So anytime you buy a home, you're going to make money because the home grows in value.
Yeah.
But we're also making money by renting it and paying the. I don't think we've ever had to pay our mortgage
Yeah.
since we started renting it. I mean, not only do we not pay our mortgage, we make money. So initially, you're only out the down payment.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to do a down payment on a home on the beach, then after that, you're not paying for it. Somebody else is.
Yeah.
And we were also lucky enough, and it happens a lot in beach towns. They will sell you the house fully furnished, so you can, because it's their second home.
Yeah.
They're not taking the shit out of there. So
They don't want the headache of
I
moving.
mean, we got every fork, every spoon, every dish fully furnished, and then we went in, and as time has gone by, Renae has started to take things out, put things in, upgrade, make things nicer. But I really highly recommend that if you're thinking about, and then by the way, when we want it, we block it off and we go. So we have a house that we can go to that's making us money, paying for itself. And I highly recommend it. And I've spoken to, relatives where they ask me like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, guys, it's a move, man.
Yeah.
And it is really worth doing. Yes, you have to put that big chunk down, but that's the same chunk you would have put in an IRA. So why not have something that you can actually go visit, hang out, enjoy. We always invite other couples with kids to come and hang out with us because it sleeps 6. It's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath. And the one next door is for sale. And Renae and I are seriously considering.
I think it might have sold yesterday.
No.
I think so. I'm not sure, but I think so.
Who told you that?
The realtor.
Janice?
Janice said, they said, were we serious? Because someone came and saw it and is interested in putting in an offer. So how serious
Are they
were
selling
we?
it with the furniture?
Yes.
We can put in an offer.
I just got rid of all the furniture for another house.
Oh, bullshit. Don't even start your shit. You weren't going to put that furniture in there anyway. I just cannot believe.
I would have kept those bar stools.
I just can't. And I will tell you this. So we bought this house in 2016, right? 16?
I don't remember.
16 or 17. It is absolutely insane how much the values of the homes have gone up.
Well, we bought it a year or two after Harvey. It was like 2 years after Harvey. So Harvey did a number on Rockport, and it definitely took it a while.
Let me put it this way. It has doubled. And that is, crazy. Literally doubled. From 60 in 8 years, that house has doubled in price. Maybe more, because the one next to us is smaller.
Yeah.
And it's a 1-story. And they got what
I don't know, but I'm not selling it, Steve Trevino.
But they got double what we got.
Yeah.
Double what we paid for. It's in Rockport.
Rockport Airbnb listing?
No, ours. Mm-hmm. Oh, I'll send it to you. I'll send you a link. But it's crazy. Rick, have you ever thought about doing the beach house thing or a lake house?
Yeah, we're kind of looking right now.
Oh, I should have.
Well, you want to come be our neighbors?
Hey, Rick, be our neighbor in Rockport. Let's go.
I think we're gonna look at maybe. I've never been there, so I don't know.
Well, you're not a beach guy. We talked about it.
Yeah, I'm sit in the house, watch TV guy.
Yeah, and you're not a fisherman.
No, my kids can do it though.
Yeah, but for you, I think I would do lake. I think a lake house for Rick.
Yeah.
Where you could sit on the patio and watch people do things.
I like that. That's my speed right there.
I love the fish. I love it. I have fishing poles for the Airbnb people.
But poor Airbnb people don't know what to do with the fishing poles, so they always end up
fuck them up.
A mess, or things are tangled, or.
But I have the good shit in my master closet that I lock. They don't have for Daddy. Yeah, when Daddy shows up, I got my fishing shirts in there. I got my little fishing shoes. I'm good to go. But it truly. I don't know if I would have made it through COVID. I would have made it, but mentally,
I don't know if we would have made it through COVID.
We did most of COVID in Rockport.
Back and forth. We did most of it bouncing from one place
to
the next, so you still felt like you were traveling.
There was no back and forth. We would come back to New Braunfels, and then 2 days later, I'm like, let's get the fuck out of here. Because Rockport was so much more chill. You'd walk into HEB and nobody really cared if
COVID didn't exist in Rockport.
Yeah. They didn't care if you were wearing a mask or not. They didn't, everybody was being cautious, but not. And we got here, and it was like, holy crap! Like people are locked down. Like holy shit, I'm uncomfortable being here.
Yeah.
And then Rockport was like, yeah, whatever.
We got the breeze.
Yeah, I know we're bad.
The salt. The salty air kills
the bars
everything.
were still open
Salt
in
water. Just
Rockport.
put some
People
salt
were
water
having
on it.
drinks and partying. I was like, shit, I'm staying in Rockport. Fuck this. And then at one point, they literally tried to shut the boat ramps down. I'm like, okay, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to go fishing because I had my boat at the time, and Garrett and I every evening would take the boat out every single evening. Like, that was my activity. And then at one point they tried, and I looked at them and I'm like, yeah, arrest me. And I just got in the water and left because I'm like, fuck you
No, but
guys.
I think they were doing that because lots of people were flooding in from other places to use the boat ramps because they were shutting them down where they
dude,
were.
COVID
and so
got
they were like, we don't want
so-
outside. Like,
You look back at COVID and it's like, you suckers that fell for it. I didn't fall for it. I was like, guys, this is ridiculous. This is way overboard. I mean, they got to the point where you weren't allowed to go to Port Aransas if your driver's license did not say that you were a resident. So they were basically telling you that you could not even go to your own home that you owned in Rockport or in Port A because you're not I go, this is ridiculous.
yeah.
You're closing boat ramps. I can't go fishing with my son in the middle of a bay. You guys are outside. It's like those fuck sticks you see it right now. It's 2024. COVID, it has proven that those masks didn't work and don't do anything. And there they are at the freaking casino wearing a mask. You know, I'm going to quote Jimmy Schubert here. I go, some of them have the mask
what
under.
did Jimmy say?
Jimmy goes, some of these idiots have the mask under their nose. He goes, that's like putting a condom on your balls.
Yeah,
Good old Jimmy
dude.
Schubert.
Schubert. Oh man.
But I mean, it got ridiculous, you know, and you look back at it, you go, my God, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You know, I will say Rick was smart. I think Rick only got it one time and it was way after the whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Right, Rick? You only got it once?
That's correct.
That's crazy because I think our family, we got it like 5 times.
Yeah, we all got it. Like, we're all. You never got it?
You never got it?
You got it 4
Wow,
times?
you're
Yeah.
like a unicorn.
I got that good blood or something.
You'll get it. Yeah, you're going to get it.
Well, you hang out with the Trevinos long enough, you'll catch it for sure.
I will say that it was nice when I got it because Renae quarantined me in the bedroom. And then I'd be like, food, I need food.
I do
So-
miss
and then-
that. That was
and,
nice.
And then she'd bring me like a little plate and like, here's, and I would throw it back out there. Done with this. And then she'd come and.
No, when
you know,
I had to quarantine in the guest bedroom and I was like, I have the control of the remote. I can binge watch whatever I want.
Nobody's going in
I
there.
don't have to come
Nobody's
out of
going
this
in there.
room. It's amazing.
I will tell you,
Yeah.
COVID or not, but being sick and having like a wife or something, oh, that's the best.
It's better, yeah.
Best caretaking you could ever get.
Well, you have a good wife. You have
I'm
a good
looking at
wife.
Steve out of the side of my
Dude,
eye.
Renae does not give a fuck. Dude, Renae's like, call your mom.
No, you know.
She's like, you want to be treated like that?
You
Call your
are
mom.
a mean patient. I try and take care of you, and I'm like, here, babe, take some Dayquil, or like, here, babe, take some NyQuil so you can sleep tonight. You feel better. I don't want that. I don't need that. You are
don't
like
do
a
that.
mean patient.
That's you.
Yes, no, you.
No,
a
you are
mean
literally
patient.
projecting you. That's you.
Mine's like,
Dude, Renae doesn't want to take it. I'm like, Renae, you know what would really help you right now? I go, there's a Tylenol Advil combo. Have you taken anything? I haven't taken anything. I'm like, well, this will help because it's for pain and it's for inflammation. I don't want it. I'm like, okay, fucking suffer, bitch. Fucking.
not here.
Dude, I'm all about it. I'm all about medicines.
that's
I'm
not
like,
true.
hey, give me the Dayquil, give me the NyQuil, give me the. So you're projecting you. You're projecting you. I'm gonna win this argument too. I need all the comments to let people know.
Just because you're
Renae-
louder and you say it 5 times, Steve, does
I'm not louder.
make it true.
No. It's pouring outside, and I love
It
it.
is.
We got to wrap this up. I had a lot more fun than I thought I was gonna have. We did not get Rick in trouble. Normally we.
Well, how do we get Rick in trouble?
Well,
before?
normally we bring up a topic that Rick's like, fuck that.
He
I'm
blushes
not- yeah.
and becomes uncomfortable.
I'm not picking a team.
I don't know. I thought maybe you were going to when you told him when you were talking about COVID.
No, well, Rick took it very serious.
Yes, and that maybe that's why he only got it once, and
But
we got it
there's a
5
difference.
times.
But there's a difference in taking it serious and the whole like. I mean, I have no problem with somebody that said we don't want to get it,
You know what?
and we're gonna stay home.
But I think.
But
of-
you have your family. You should have had your family's choice.
Yeah.
They should have said, here are the facts,
Yeah.
right? Here are the facts. This is what we know so far.
Yeah.
And if you want to go out and risk that, you can.
Right.
If you want to stay home, you can.
We probably would have handled it very differently had my dad been sick during COVID. You know, like I think about that. How would I have handled COVID if dad had been sick then and was immune compromised?
Sure.
Then? Or even my grandpa. Like I just think, I always think when I think about COVID, I'm like, I'm so glad he passed before COVID, because I would have hated for the last couple of years for his life to be during COVID and then us be afraid to visit him or whatever. Like all of that just seems so sad and miserable.
I will say my favorite joke that I wrote through COVID, I will say it now, and I've said it before, I think, is, and we'll leave it at that. My favorite joke was, kids are not affected by COVID, right?
I know what you're going to
I go, so I would go to Walmart and H-E-B, and I would let my kid, I would say, touch everything, right? No mask, touch everything. I go, that way, when we got home, I could be like, hey, go hug grandma.
You would say, no, you left the best part out. You said, I would tell my kids to lick the handles on the shopping cart.
Lick the handle on the shopping cart, and then go hug grandma. And that was my favorite. And I stopped doing it because it wasn't true. And I love my mother-in-law, and she's absolutely amazing. And I do not wish death upon her. And that's one of the reasons I didn't do the joke, because I absolutely love my mother-in-law. And I was like, it's a really funny joke, maybe for a Jimmy Schubert or somebody else.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know if Jimmy wrote this joke just to give Jimmy some more love. That's another one of my favorite jokes he does. He goes, yeah, I went in for a piss test, and the doctor came up to me and said, oh my God, sir, you're tested positive for marijuana. And he goes, well, I can explain. I had a bagel and it had poppy seed in it. And he goes, well, sir, can you explain the LSD, the heroin, and the cocaine? He goes, well, sir, it was an everything bagel. I got such a good joke. Jimmy tells it sometimes, and it's so funny. But if you're listening to the podcast, we are in Pittsburgh right now. Get your tickets for tomorrow in Pittsburgh. After that, we are going to go to Cabo for Boots on the Beach. And then I am doing a private fundraiser for our amazing, talented Texas Rangers, not the baseball team, but the actual Texas Rangers.
Yeah.
And then the week after that, where am I?
Where are you after that?
Start as Rangers.
Oxnard and San Jose. You're doing a stretch in California.
Oh, good. Love Oxnard. Love San Jose. No, Oxnard's before Oklahoma.
No. Oxnard before Oklahoma, and then San Jose.
Oh, yeah, there's that one in Oklahoma. Yes, we're also doing a quick one in Oklahoma. But we love you guys. Please see us live. Please see us on tour. Remember that the best medicine is humor, laughter. If I know we live in a crazy world right now. Please consider going to your local comedy club, going to that theater, buying that ticket for that comedian, hopefully me, and enjoying it. And I got some real exciting news for the team to do something really special. And we have the dates for Vegas, so make your plans. December 13th and 14th at the MGM Grand in the David Copperfield Theater. If you're thinking about joining me and Renae, if you've ever wanted to hang out with us and party with us, Vegas is the place to do it, December 13th
You'll
and
find
14th.
Steve at the craps table.
No, me and you hang out first, and then I go to the
That's
craps
true.
table.
We do. That's right.
First, I spend all my money on you, and then I got to go make it back at the craps table.
We got a system.
I did learn these boys some craps, and dude, it was so funny. It didn't take long, especially Eric. It didn't take him long. He had a thing with the dice. He had his own little throwing routine before it was all said and done.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, 6 and 8. I mean, dude, he was like, you owe me money over there. I got that one.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, we were.
We got to thank our sponsors.
Yes, go ahead.
Aztec Chevy, Aztec Ford, Goliad. They're all over the place. If you need a car, please call those guys. And Old Salt Coffee, Trevino 10 for your discount code. It really is delicious. We drink it every morning. We miss it when we don't have it.
Yep. Contractor Gabe hit me up and said, dude, you're right. This coffee is the best drip
It's
coffee
legit.
I ever had. Yep.
Yeah.
Trevino 10, pick cherries, and our favorite shirts to wear, Rao Western. Go to my website or my Instagram. The guys took amazing pictures of our red, white, and blue Rao shirt. Not to mention, my friend Uncle Cracker is now supporting the Rao Western wear.
Yeah.
Thank you, Uncle Cracker, for wearing our shirts. We love you guys. What a fun episode. It went by fast.
Yeah.
And you look delicious, and you're going to get it. Thank you. Good night.